Timeless Chinese wisdom from legendary masters that will change your life. In this video, we'll uncover the timeless wisdom of three legendary Chinese philosophers, Confucius, Sun Tzu, and Zhuangzi. Their words have guided emperors, warriors, and thinkers for centuries, and still inspire the world today. Confucius, the greatest thinker and teacher of ancient China, the founder of a philosophy that shaped morality and governance for centuries. His ideas on justice, duty, and respect for elders formed the cultural foundation of an entire civilization.
Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Do not be ashamed of mistakes and thus make them crimes. Isn't it a pleasure to study and practice what you have learned? It is not possible for one to teach others what he cannot teach his own family. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? He who excels in study can follow an official career. Forget injuries, never forget kindnesses. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. Recompense injury with justice. Recompense kindness with kindness. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without one. To love a thing means wanting it to live. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. Things that are done, it is needless to speak about. Things that are past, it is needless to blame. Looking at small advantages prevents great affairs from being accomplished. People may be made to follow a path of action, but they may not be made to understand it. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. The cautious seldom err. Men's natures are alike. It is their habits that carry them far apart. It is only the wisest and the stupidest that cannot change. The object of the superior man is truth. The essence of knowledge is having it to apply it, not having it to confess your ignorance. A man who does not plan ahead will find trouble at his door. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. When anger arises, think of the consequences. Study the past if you would define the future. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. The scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be deemed a scholar. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. The real fault is to have faults and not amend them. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. A fool despises good counsel, but a wise man takes it to heart. He who will not economize will have to agonize. I am not concerned that I am not known. I seek to be worthy to be known. Without an acquaintance with the rules of propriety, it is impossible for character to be established. Mankind differs from the animals only by little, and most people throw that away. To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage or of principle. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. When prosperity comes, do not use all of it. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon or star. They must often change who would be constant in happiness or wisdom. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. If a man takes no thought about what is distant, he will find sorrow near at hand. Behave toward everyone as if receiving a great guest. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. When you see a worthy person, endeavor to emulate him. When you see an unworthy person, examine your inner self. Wealth and rank are what people desire, but unless they be obtained in the right way, they may not be possessed. The father who does not teach his son his duties is equally guilty with the son who neglects them. The parent's age must be remembered, both for joy and anxiety. If you look into your own heart, you find nothing wrong there. What is there to fear? Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. Think no vice so small that you may commit it, and no virtue so small that you may overlook it. Do not worry about holding high position, rather worry about playing your proper role. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Acquire new knowledge whilst thinking over old, and you may become a teacher of others. Sincerity and truth are the basis of every virtue. Reviewing the old and deducing the new makes a teacher. Act with kindness and do not expect gratitude. Worry not that no one knows of you. Seek to be worth knowing. Ability will never catch up with the demand for it. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. A youth is to be regarded with respect. How do you know that his future will not be equal to your present? Fix your mind on truth, hold firm to virtue, rely on loving kindness, and find your recreation in the arts. Boldness without the rules of propriety becomes insubordination. Fine words and insinuating appearance are seldom associated with true virtue. Learn as though you would never be able to master. Hold as though you would be in fear of losing. I am not one who was born in the possession of knowledge. I am one who is fond of antiquity and earnest in seeking it there. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it, this is knowledge. The faults of a superior person are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them. They change, and everyone looks up to them. When a man's knowledge is sufficient to attain, and his virtue is not sufficient to enable him to hold, whatever he may have gained, he will lose. To be able under all circumstances to practice 5 things constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 things are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. Do not be desirous of having things done quickly. Do not look at small advantages. Desire to have things done quickly prevents their being done thoroughly. He with whom neither slander that gradually soaks into the mind, nor statements that startle like a wound in the flesh, is successful and may be called intelligent indeed. There are 3 things to beware of through life. When a man is young, let him beware of his appetites. When he is middle-aged, of his passions. When old, of covetousness. Virtue is more to man than either water or fire. I have seen men die from treading on water and fire, but I have never seen a man die from treading the course of virtue. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must cultivate our personal life. And to cultivate our personal life, we must first set our hearts right. Isn't it also great when friends visit from distant places? If one remains not annoyed when he is not understood by people around him, is he not a sage? With coarse rice to eat, with water to drink, and my bended arm for a pillow, I still have joy in the midst of these things. Riches and honors acquired by unrighteousness are to me as a floating cloud.
Sun Tzu, a brilliant military strategist and the author of The Art of War. His principles on victory and defeat became a guide not only for battlefields, but for leadership and life itself.
One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. If the mind is willing, the flesh could go on and on without many things. Great results can be achieved with small forces. It is easy to love your friend, but not your enemy. Appear weak when you are strong. and strong when you are weak. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight, even though the ruler forbid it. If fighting will not result in victory, then you must not fight, even at the ruler's bidding. All warfare is based on deception. A leader leads by example, not by force. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. Plan for what is difficult while it is easy. Do what is great while it is small. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. If there is a disturbance in the camp, the general's authority is weak. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not, will be victorious. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. It is only one who is thoroughly acquainted with the evils of war who can thoroughly understand the profitable way of fighting it. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night. When you move, fall like a thunderbolt. The quality of a decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim. To secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. No ruler should put troops into the field merely to gratify his own spleen. No general should fight a battle simply out of pique. Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of attack. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he does not fathom our real intent. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. The control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers. You can be sure of succeeding in your attacks if you only attack places that are undefended. The wise warrior avoids the battle. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. When the outlook is bright, bring it before their eyes, but tell them nothing when the situation is gloomy. The worst calamities that befall an army arise from hesitation. All men can see the tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. One mark of a great soldier is that he fights on his own terms or fights not at all. If his forces are united, separate them. In war, practice dissimulation, and you will succeed. The difficulty of tactical maneuvering consists in turning the devious into the direct, misfortune into gain. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but wins with ease. Who wishes to fight must first count the cost. If the enemy leaves a door open, you must rush in. Quickness is the essence of war. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Begin by seizing something that your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. Hence the general is skillful in attack whose opponent does not know what to defend, and he is skillful in defense whose opponent does not know what to attack. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. In battle, there are not more than two methods of attack, the direct and the indirect. Yet these two in combination give rise to an endless series of maneuvers. Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. It is only the enlightened ruler and the wise general who will use the highest intelligence of the army for the purposes of spying, thereby achieving great results. To fight and to conquer in all battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Making no mistakes is what establishes the certainty of victory, for it means conquering an enemy that is already defeated. We cannot enter into alliances until we are acquainted with the designs of our neighbors. Never trust a friend who is silent about your flaws. In war, avoid what is strong, strike at what is weak. In the midst of chaos, there is opportunity.
Zhuangzi, a Taoist philosopher, master of parables and paradoxes. He taught that freedom of spirit and living in harmony with the natural flow are the keys to true wisdom.
A path is made by walking on it. Rewards and punishment are the lowest form of education. Waiting for a change in opinion is like waiting for nothing. The wise man knows that it is better to sit on the banks of a remote mountain stream than to be emperor of the whole world. Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens. The one who is scared of dying is but a lost child looking for his home. Sound intelligence promises victory in every battle. Silence and non-action are the root of all things. Easy is right, Begin right, and you will be easy. Continue easy, and you will be right. The right way to go easy is to forget the right way, and forget that the going is easy. Happiness is the absence of striving for happiness. If the way is made clear, it is not the way. Whoever focuses on externals will be clumsy inside. Life comes from the earth, and life returns to the earth. The effect of life in society is to complicate and confuse our existence, making us forget who we really are by causing us to become obsessed with what we are not. To a mind that is still, the entire universe surrenders. Those who realize their folly are not true fools. To be truly ignorant, be content with your own knowledge. Only he who has no use for the empire is fit to be entrusted with it. We are born from a quiet sleep, and we die to a calm awakening. Good fortune is as light as a feather, but nobody knows how to pick it up. Misfortune is as heavy as earth, but nobody knows how to stay out of its way. When the heart is right, for and against are forgotten. The petty thief is imprisoned, but the big thief becomes a feudal lord. The perfect man uses his mind like a mirror, going after nothing, welcoming nothing, responding but not storing. Great wisdom is generous, petty wisdom is contentious. Men honor what lies within the sphere of their knowledge, but do not realize how dependent they are on what lies beyond it. Great knowledge is universal, small knowledge is limited. Great words are inspiring, small words are chatter. All men know the use of the useful, but nobody knows the use of the useless. Birth is not the beginning, death is not the end. Do not struggle, go with the flow, and you will find yourself at one with the mysterious unity of the universe. A frog in a well cannot conceive of the ocean. To forget the whole world is easy. To make the whole world forget you is hard. Don't go in and hide. Don't come out and shine. Stand stock still in the middle. Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life. Things joined by profit, when pressed by misfortune and danger, will cast each other aside. When people do not ignore what they should ignore, but ignore what they should not ignore, this is known as ignorance. A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later. Forget about life. Forget about worrying about right and wrong. Plunge into the unknown and the endless and find your place there. The little child learns to speak, though it has no learned teachers, because it lives with those who know how to speak. The sound of water says what I think. Understanding that rests in what it does not understand is the finest understanding. Those who count things are not worthy of assisting the people. Emptiness is the fasting of the mind. The perfect man of old looked after himself first before looking to help others. If right were ultimately right, its differentiation from non-right would require no debate. The breathing of the wise person comes from their heels, while most people breathe only from their throats. Little understanding cannot rise up to great understanding. The short-lived cannot rise up to the long-lived. He who regards all things as one is a companion of nature. When deeds and words are in accord, the whole world is transformed. The torch of doubt and chaos, this is what the sage steers by. When it is time, I will fall asleep, and when the right time comes, I will wake up. Listening stops with the ears, the mind stops with recognition, but the spirit is empty and waits on all things. The way is to man as rivers and lakes are to fish, the natural condition of life. We cling to our own point of view as though everything depended on it. Yet our opinions have no permanence. Like autumn and winter, they gradually pass away. Good order results spontaneously when things are let alone. A battering ram can knock down a city wall, but it cannot stop a hole. Different things have different uses. The creature born is the creature dying. If you have grasped the purpose of life, there is no point in trying to make life into something it is not or cannot be. If one is true to one's inner self and follows his wisdom, who is without a teacher? The hearing that is only in the ears is one thing. The hearing of the understanding is another. But the hearing of the spirit is not limited to any one faculty, to the ear or to the mind. The sage embraces things. Ordinary men discriminate amongst them and parade their discriminations before others. So I say, those who discriminate fail to see. When a man does not dwell in self, then things will of themselves reveal their forms to him. His movement is like that of water, his stillness like that of a mirror, his responses like those of an echo. We can't expect a blind man to appreciate beautiful patterns, or a deaf man to listen to bells and drums. Blindness and deafness are not confined to the body alone. The understanding has them too. Words have value. What is of value in words is meaning. Meaning has something it is pursuing, but the thing that it is pursuing cannot be put into words and handed down. Not to understand is profound. To understand is shallow. Not to understand is to be on the inside. To understand is to be on the outside. Let your mind wander in simplicity. Blend your spirit with the vastness. Follow along with things the way they are, and make no room for personal views. Then the world will be governed. If you have insight, you use your inner eye, your inner ear, to pierce to the heart of things, and have no need of intellectual knowledge. The one-legged creature is envious of the millipede. The millipede is envious of the snake. The snake is envious of the wind. The wind is envious of the eye. The eye is envious of the heart. Standards are different for all things, so the standard set by man is by no means the only certain standard. If you mistake what is relative for something certain, you have strayed far from the ultimate truth. Once I dreamed I was a butterfly, and now I no longer know whether I am Zhuangzi, who dreamed I was a butterfly, or whether I am a butterfly dreaming that I am Zhuangzi. Do not seek fame, do not make plans, do not be absorbed by activities. Do not think that you know. Be aware of all that is, and dwell in the infinite. Wander where there is no path. Be all that heaven gave you, but act as though you have received nothing. Be empty. He who pursues fame at the risk of losing his self is not a scholar. Don't you know about the praying mantis that waved its arms angrily in front of an approaching carriage, unaware that they were incapable of stopping it? Such was the high opinion it had of its talents. The man who has some respect for his person keeps his carcass out of sight, hides himself as perfectly as he can. Forget the years, forget distinctions, leap into the boundless and make it your home. Flow with whatever may happen, and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate.
What would these wise men say if they lived today? Perhaps the same, or something entirely different. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.